it up.
Scott, why is the Horiguchi fight against Caldwell leading the card?
You know, we decided to have that fight first to start out with a big fight, big bang, and yeah, in Japan it'll air live, and so it'll be on the zone there. We thought the investment came out of the blocks was going to be very strong.
What do you think it means to MMA Horiguchi does win this fight to be a cross-promotion champion? The whole champ thing is like the trend now, but you'd be doing it in weight class, same weight class, 2 promotions.
Yeah, well, you know what? Listen, I wish both fighters good luck, but I told DC you better win that fight Friday night. But no, in a serious note, it's like, you know, these fights don't happen where the champ's fighting another champ in a real legitimate league like, you know, Bellator and Rising. So it's very rare that this opportunity happens. So if he wins, hey, congratulations. I mean, he proved that he is, you know, one of the greatest fighters in his weight class. And it's no easy task because when DC went to Japan on New Year's Eve, he had a hard time in the ring, you know, and Horiguchi's able to get out and throw some heavy blows. He's fast, he's explosive, he hits hard. DC has his hands full, you know, but I have confidence in my guy that we can get it done. Otherwise, we might not have been here with this fight tonight. So, you know, he has a lot on his plate, but he's got to get it done.
Does it make it a little more fun for you as a promoter? Like, you know, Saki Barrow's up here, he said he guarantees for you.
Oh, he guarantees.
Yeah, and you're saying, you know, obviously you root for your guy, but does it make it a little more interesting than, you know, just having to be indifferent and give a certain answer that's kind of down the middle?
You know, it's, listen, I want my guy to win, right? And I think he can win. Horiguchi's a tough fighter. And Saki Barrow, I'm sure, is, you know, really pulling for him because then he's have bragging rights, right? But I feel like my guy can get it done, and you know, it's gonna be an interesting fight on Friday night. And I'm glad we're starting off with a bang because that's a big fight coming right out of the blocks, and it's gonna be a fun fight to start the night.
Is it just bragging rights on the line, or is there any little side bets?
Oh, little side bets? The night's not over yet, so we'll see.
Would you guarantee for DC?
What's that now?
Would you guarantee for DC that he's going to win?
Oh, I think he's going to win.
He's going to win, huh?
Yeah.
It's a guarantee?
Yeah. It's a guarantee. I mean, you know, he's going to guarantee it. I'm going to guarantee, everybody's going to guarantee it. But I think my guy can do it. I think my guy's talented. He's going to feel very comfortable in that cage. This is where he fights his fights. I think that Horiguchi's been fighting in the ring for a long time. And the things that happen in Japan, he's not going to be able to get away with here. And I'm talking about just, you know, sliding, you know, basically slipping out from, you know, the clinch. And if he gets stuck in a corner, he's not going to be able to get out this time.
Maybe it doesn't apply completely to this fight because Horiguchi has had a lot of experience fighting in a cage with the circular cage this time. But what's more difficult, do you think, for a fighter to adapt to? Someone who's used to the cage going to the ring, or someone who's used to the ring?
Well, I think, listen, Horiguchi's had fights, you know, in the cage before, but it's been how long? It's been a couple of years, right? So, you know, he's training most of the time to fight in the ring, and it's a much different experience. I saw DC have a really hard time in the ring in Japan, you know, harder than I thought he would. But I don't want to take anything away from Horiguchi. He's a great fighter. He's been following his career for a long time, but I think that this is going to go our way.
Bellator have been moving strongly in kind of neglected markets like Europe, Hawaii, and now Japan. Is there anywhere else you're looking at that you're looking to either cross-promote or to really push the Bellator brand?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're not afraid to, you know, collaborate, co-promote, fight each other. You know, it's really, the door's open. If it makes sense, we'll do it. If it doesn't make sense, we won't do it. But this is something that makes a lot of sense. And you know, going to Japan and watching that first fight, it was motivating for me. And the deal was that if DC didn't win, that Saki Barrow would send Horiguchi here, which he has, so he's honored his word. And when you deal with another promoter, you have to have a certain amount of trust in them delivering what they say they're going to deliver. And Saki Barrow has done that. So I'm very thankful to him and Horiguchi for coming here and fighting. As far as outside markets, you know, Hawaii was a big market for us. You guys know we're doing the European series. We're going to start doing fights in different countries in Europe. And that will just lead to different types of localization of events, which means basically, you know, when we go to Latin America, you know, I think we'll be starting a localized series of Latin America soon, as well as, you know, some maybe, you know, different parts of Europe or Asia.
Do you foresee doing a Bellator versus Rizin full card? Just take your best fighters and put up against Rizin's best fighters on just one card?
Listen, we would welcome that. You know, And but if we do it and we do it there, then they would have to come back and do it here because, like I said, it's a different experience to fight in the ring. And I think you get out of a lot of situations having a ring compared to the cage, where you could get stuck in a position. So we'd have to have it both ways. So there's been dialogue. There's nothing imminent, but these things take time, and at least we can have this fight and enjoy it on Friday night.
The historical significance of this event, with two organizations coming together to put on this mega card on Friday night. When we look back on this event 20 years from now, what's going to be the significance? What do you think the significance of this event historically will be when we look back on Bellator 220?
Yeah, I mean, guys, this is a big deal. This doesn't happen, and when my guy wins, it's going to be a big deal. So we're all going to celebrate, except for Shinoda over here. No, but seriously, it's a big deal in the sense that organizations don't do that. Sometimes they don't want to put their champ, but we're going to get it on. So DC is excited, and this is something when we had the opportunity to fight Horiguchi, we went to DC and said, hey, there's opportunity in Japan, do you want to fight? And he wanted to fight. And I'll tell you, a lot of our guys would love to fight in Japan, and I'm sure that Ryzen has a lot of fighters that would love to fight in Madison Square Garden. So, we're going to provide an opportunity to go back and forth. It's not going to be our core business. Our core business is Bellator. Their core business is Ryzen, but from time to time, let's get it on, man. This is going to be a fun night.
Scott, they were under the impression, or at least they would like to see Horiguchi, if he wins, continue to defend both belts. Is that something?
Yeah, that's part of the deal. And the deal we made with Sakakibara-san was if Horiguchi wins, then once a year he'll come and defend his belt. And it gives us time to, figure out who's going to fight who, and work their way to maybe, defending or fighting Horiguchi in the future. But that's not going to happen. So we're going to be fine.
As Juan Archuleta said in his new contract, if he wins this fight, he's guaranteed the title fight. Can you confirm that?
You know what? I'm not sure if that's in the contract or not. I better go back and read that because that's the first I heard that. But Juan is a guy that's won how many fights in a row, and he's a seasoned veteran, and he's had some tough fights, and this is no easy task for him. So Dantas is a tough kid, and if he wins a fight, he should get a tough fight.
If Caldwell does win, is it possible for a rubber match where maybe both titles are on the line?
I think that we'll have to change, have a neutral rule, neutral cage or a ring or half and half or something that.
Just on a mat. Just on a mat.
Yeah,
maybe.
do it on the mat. So we'll have to figure that out because if he goes back to the ring, then one side's gonna have the advantage. If you go to the cage, I think somebody else, then we have the advantage. So that's gonna be interesting how the rubber match happens. But I'm not opposed to figuring something out.
So earlier today, our own Cole Sheldon reached out to John Fitch, who said that he was told that be ready to fight this Friday in case Rory McDonald can't make it. Rory McDonald says that he's healthy. What's going on there, and why did he specifically mention McDonald and not in that race?
Are you talking about Sheldon to that?
John Fitch.
John Fitch. So John Fitch said that. Okay. So here is what the situation with John Fitch was. I think John's going to come to New York, and he will be here in case there was an injury to either side. So we wanted to have a backup for either side of the bracket, just in case there was an injury. So, for instance, if Neiman was hurt, it would be Fitch against Rory again. Or if Rory was hurt, then we'd have a backup because we didn't want the tournament to have a hiccup where there was no fight. So we brought in, we basically worked something out with Fitch to continue to train, continue to, be ready, and basically, work something out with him to be a standby in case one of the fighters got hurt.
Can you talk about the decision?
All the way from top to bottom. Something, a lot of times you have regional fighters in prelims, now we have big names. It's something we should expect going forward.
Well, I think that I always love going to a city or a town and really checking out the local talent because we found some really diamonds in the rough in the past in some of these cities. But this fight, it's a big event. We've had a lot of, fighters under contract that are fighting. On Friday night. So it could go one way or the other depending on, what city or what town it is. It just happened to work out this way where there's so much, talent here that we had all these fighters under contract. So we're going to fight them because, it's our time to fight.
Shayla said earlier that when he finishes his fighting career, he'd be looking to move into promotion with Bellator. Is that something you and him have discussed?
So now I'll have two partners. I'll have Dylan Danner and I'll have Charles Hunter. So Well, you know what? Listen, he's been a great asset to the team, and you know, anytime Chael wants to have a conversation about something, we can definitely have that conversation. But just tell him to get his checkbook out.
Can you talk about the decision behind making Rory and Neiman the main event of this card?
Yeah, you know what? As we got closer to the fight, and you know, when we announced the fight card, you know, we didn't know who the fight was going to be, and we wanted to announce the fight between Cheetah and Chael and Heather, and I don't even think we had just signed the opponent for Heather, so it was kind of a situation where we came out, we had announced the fights, and then as the fight card started developing, you know, we said we think this makes the most sense, you know, and we made the decision. That's I feel good about it.
If Fitch has to step up, would that still be the main event?
Yeah, that's whoever is gonna be that welterweight tournament fight will be the main event.
Would Bellator be looking to do cross promotion deals with other companies outside of Ryzen?
Listen, it's like I said, you know, Saki Bar and I have worked together for, I want to say, since 2006, and I don't know if you guys know the history, but you know, it's when I just started Strikeforce, we had our second fight, and we didn't have a main event, so through my relationship at K1, they tracked down Saki Bar and asked him to help us, and he did. He sent over Vitor Belfort to fight Alistair Overeem, which he had both under contract at the time, and when Strikeforce grew up a little bit, we sent over Josh Thompson, Gilbert Melendez, and then we had this great relationship. They sent over Kyle Jury, they sent over Aoki, and then you know, now that he's rebuilding his business, and we have a lot of guys under contract, we're able to help him out as well. So this has been a 13-year relationship.
Yeah.
Where, you know, that's an interesting question, because when a fighter reaches that realization and it's time to retire. You know, because not only are you striking someone's striking you, and you're in harm's way as well. So it's time to let it go, and let the young guys fight.
Is the winner of the Machida Chael fight going to be fighting Bader in his 205 title defense?
Ryan Bader will be fighting at heavyweight first, and he will be fighting Czech Congo.
You know,
Sometime. I do, but I can't tell you.